year ago, BPI had the honor of co-hosting the 4th Annual Corporate Treasury and CFO Summit. Today, we host the 5th version of this annual event. I'm sure you would agree that now is a good time to get together again, since in the past year, so much has happened and so much has changed. The economic landscape is much more challenging today than it was just a year ago. The 4 years following the Lehman crisis were marked by economic policymakers around the world coordinated in the introduction of stimuli that was supportive of asset prices. Today, the world's economic policymakers are no longer in sync, each having to worry about their own domestic issues. The Philippines has shed the tag sick man of Asia, but unemployment remains a challenge, and our economy no longer benefits from the rising tide that raises all boats. It is this divergence of global macroeconomic policies that makes these times particularly challenging for corporate CFOs and treasurers. For the companies that you represent are all affected in varying degrees by these changes.
I recognize the importance of this summit as it provides a brilliant avenue to discuss pending issues and transfer knowledge of both standard and market practices. The topic delves on what to expect after securing investment grade rating from Fitch and S&P. And let us not forget the third one coming, I hope, that of Moody's investment grade verdict very soon. Let me start with an tagline for the country. The Philippines is hot. Following the various expressions of confidence in the Philippine economy. For one, the IMF has singled out the Philippines for being the only country whose growth forecast has upgraded. The World Bank commented that macroeconomic stability is now the new normal in the Philippines. And it has also upgraded its outlook on the Philippines' 2013 economic growth from 5% to 6.2%. The Asian Development Bank likewise raised its earlier forecast of 4.8% to 5.5% this year. And even before the upgrade, the financial markets have already priced the Philippines as investment grade, as our credit default swaps are in the same range as investment grade economies. Despite a tumultuous global environment, our economy has managed to achieve the coveted alignment of high growth and low inflation, with the economy poised to sustain impressive results with inflationary expectations remaining well anchored and well within the medium-term target under the stewardship of the Bangko Sentral. Meanwhile, fiscal consolidation remains on track, with a full-year deficit to be contained at a snug 2% of GDP and kept at that level until 2016. To achieve these targets, revenue effort will improve from 14.7% of GDP this year to over 15% in 2014 as we fortify our revenue intake through intensified tax administration, the full implementation of the sin tax, and working with Congress for the enactment of additional measures, including the rationalization of fiscal incentives. A fiscal surveillance unit has now been activated in the Department of Finance and tasked to unearth helpful leads to lift the tax compliance. There have been a number of tremors manifesting in the markets as of late, but our financial system sits on the bedrock of solid fundamentals, and the government is more than ever vigilant to safeguard and strengthen this foundation. As the government successfully fortified its fiscal position, as well as the sustainability of its debt dynamics, the time is now right to push forth carefully sequenced reforms for the development and deepening of the country's capital markets. With the collective effort of the government and market participants, the reforms under the Capital Market Development Blueprint are set in motion and bearing fruit, particularly in improving financial intermediation, enhancing liquidity, and helping mitigate financial stability risks.